Hello everybody. My name is Sharon Pillar. I am a project manager at Citizens for Pennsylvania's Future, or Penn Future. Welcome to our webinar this afternoon. And the title of our webinar today is Permitting and Inspecting Small-Scale Solar Photovoltaic or PV Systems in Your Community. And today we are joined with a wonderful attorney from Cozen O'Connor, Sherry Shapiro, who will be talking today about the legal considerations for permitting solar in your community. And Evan Endress will be walking you through the permitting process that we've developed. So welcome. Just a few housekeeping issues to point out to you. That everyone is on mute, so you will not be able to speak during the webinar, but we would encourage you to ask questions throughout the webinar, and to do that you just need to type in your question in the little box on the right, and we'll be able to see the question, and we'll try to answer those as we go through the process or through the webinar today. And then at the end of the webinar we'll have some more time for question and answer, so you're welcome to wait till that point if you're more comfortable. So we have a lot of people joining us. We're very excited about that, and we're going to get started. Great. So just to run through the agenda very quickly, we're going to do a little intro about solar and the growth of solar around the region and in the United States. We'll give you a little bit of background on the Sunshot project and rooftop solar challenge that we've been working on, a project through the Department of Energy. Then we'll talk about the need for appropriate permitting and inspection of solar systems, the legal underpinnings of the model permit that we developed with our team, and then Evan's going to walk you through the introduction to the model permit, how to use our model worksheets, and then a little bit about what appropriate fees for appropriate permitting fees would look like for many communities, and then talk to you about some of our other resources that we have to offer you. So one of the big questions that we always get is, does solar actually work in Pennsylvania? And the answer is yes, it works really, really well. And to demonstrate that, or to show you a little bit why we know that's the case, this slide shows you the solar resource across the United States. And this is an average amount of solar that we get in various different portions of the country. And you can see where Pittsburgh is. And we're in sort of that greenish light blue area. And if you look down at the very bottom of the slide, you can see that the red and orange, those are the places that are getting the very most sun and solar energy. And then you go on the other end of that spectrum, and those in the purple and light blue are the least amount of solar energy. Well, if you look over to the right, you'll see in purple here, Germany is oh, sorry, I can point it out here with our cursor. Germany is right here. Germany, as you can see, is this purplish blue color because it really doesn't receive all that much solar energy, but it is the leading solar nation. They have more solar installed than any other nation around the world. So we compare that. That's a lot very similar looking to Alaska, which in some cases is a little bit better off as far as the amount of solar they're receiving. So you can see that here in Pittsburgh, we receive a lot more solar energy than Germany, and we have a great potential here for solar energy to work. So what's going on in Pennsylvania? We have, first of all, solar is the fastest growing energy sector in the entire world, and we're seeing a very rapid expansion of solar across the country and even here in Pennsylvania. So we have about 170 megawatts of solar installed in Pennsylvania, and that's enough to power about 18,000 homes. And we actually are a leading solar state. We are ranked 8th in the nation in the amount of total solar capacity, and we have about 7,000 solar systems. Most of that has come onto the grid just within the past 4 years. So you can see how rapidly this is expanding. And Pennsylvania has the fourth fastest growth rate in the United States, and we're employing thousands of solar jobs in Pennsylvania. So we're here to talk to you about a project that we've done with the Department of Energy called Sunshot, and we've been working on the Sunshot Rooftop Solar Challenge. So the Department of Energy has various different Sunshot initiatives, and the whole purpose of this is really kind of summed up in the logo there at the bottom, that $1 per watt is really the goal that the Department of Energy is shooting for, where solar energy is cost competitive with fossil fuels, and that is happening at an amazing and very rapid rate. The other objective with the Sunshot initiatives is to help increase the U.S. competitiveness in the global solar industry, because around the world solar is being manufactured and deployed, again, at a very, very rapid rate. So we need to keep pace with that as far as our country is concerned. And then the other piece or objective is to reduce the non-hardware costs of solar energy projects, which is a key element to bring down the cost of installed solar energy systems. And the non-hardware costs, or what we call soft costs, are those that we're going to be talking about today. And so we participated in the Rooftop Solar Challenge. The Department of Energy found that there was inappropriate zoning, permitting, and inspection procedures, that these were a significant burden of installing solar energy. They've been adding excessive costs to customers, and sometimes we're talking about thousands of extra dollars to these installations for what we would call inappropriate permitting fees. Sometimes sending folks to their zoning hearing boards to get variances where it's probably very unnecessary, or at additional municipal hearings. Also delaying the installation of the solar systems through lag time on inspection and interconnection by the utility costs. So the longer it takes folks to get the solar systems up and running, that is a cost to the solar industry, but also a cost to the customer as well. And also requiring the industry to navigate a wide range of inconsistent policies across jurisdictions. And you can just imagine in Pennsylvania, where we have more than 2,500 municipalities, how difficult that is to navigate each and every municipality. Most of the Pennsylvania municipalities don't have any established guidelines or regulations for zoning, permitting, or inspection procedures for solar. So either the communities are under-regulating and not really sure what to do with the solar systems, or either they're over-regulating and asking for burdensome and really sometimes unnecessary requirements, which adds a lot of cost to the municipality's review time as well. So we have done this as a part of a coalition with our organization, and Penn Future is a statewide organization that is involved in, we're a public interest organization working on environmental issues like air quality, water quality, and clean energy has been a very important piece of our work. We also partnered with the City of Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission. Connect, or the Congress of Neighboring Communities, is an organization out of the University of Pittsburgh that works with the municipalities around the City of Pittsburgh. And SunWIPA, which is the Solar Unified Network of Western Pennsylvania, and that comprises the solar industry here in Western Pennsylvania. And then we were lucky enough to be working with the experts with our environmental planning and design, who helped us largely with the zoning portion of the project, as well as some of the permitting processes, and attorneys from Gehring, Rutter, and Beam in Pittsburgh, and Sherry Shapiro, who's with us today from Cozen O'Connor in Philadelphia. Bill Brooks, who some of you may know, is a national solar inspection expert, and we also had the Clean Energy Finance Center working on some financing components of this grant to try to find some financing mechanisms for solar in this region. We were one of 22 teams. Really, we were the only one in Pennsylvania, and you could see these orange dots This large orange dot here really is New York City and didn't really encompass Pennsylvania. So we were the only team in Pennsylvania. And throughout this past year we've been working on this project. We have completed the model zoning ordinance, which are not talking about today, but which is available, and the model permitting practices, which of course we're talking about today. But to get to this point, we have gone through an extensive stakeholder consensus building process where we have started out with researching various models around the country, interviewing all sorts of knowledgeable people in this region. And then throughout the year we had 4 separate meetings with representatives from all the 24 municipalities who were involved in this project in Allegheny County and Beaver County through municipal working group meetings. We also had a technical advisory committee. That committee was kind of what we tried to do is comprise a mini microcosm, a separate municipality. So we had borough managers and engineers and zoning officials on that, and elected officials, as well as county planning officials, the solar industry, and various other folks who were helping us with their technical advice. We held elected official briefings, and we also held an electrical inspector training that was completed with Bill Brooks, who I mentioned before as a national expert, and also the International Association of Electrical Inspectors was part of that training as well. And then again, review by the attorneys who are knowledgeable in the Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code and the Uniform Construction Code here in Pennsylvania. So why do we need solar permitting process? This picture is a great example of why. This picture shows what one installer was required to produce to get the permitting process for just one small installation. And this enormous amount of paperwork just for this one installation just exemplifies one of the reasons that there's a need for a streamlined process, not only from the industry side, but also on the municipal side, because you as a municipality need to, it's helpful to understand what's actually needed and what is not needed in order to save you time and expedite the review process. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of this, we just wanted to show you some results of a study that was done in the National Solar Permitting Database, and this was a survey of 273 solar installers in the top 12 solar states, and that does include Pennsylvania. But what they found is that more than 1 in 3 installers avoid selling solar into about 4 different municipalities because of their permitting difficulties. So the installers will say, I'm just not working in that municipality because it's just too difficult, it's not worth my time. So that is happening. Permitting varies widely and usually involves up to 5 distinct agencies within these municipalities. And of course some of these municipalities that they're talking about here are some of the larger municipalities. But again, it's requiring different reviews by various different people. About 11% of the installations encounter a situation where requirements for solar permitting have not been set, suggesting that the local policies have not kept pace with the burgeoning solar market. So again, solar is growing so quickly, it's just difficult for a lot of municipalities to keep up for the necessary requirements. The jurisdictions are requiring on average nearly 8 work weeks to complete their review. And of course the staff time for the installers to prepare the documents has been about a little bit over 14 hours. Municipalities report that installer errors and incomplete or inconsistent paperwork create extra work and delays for their staff. So the permitting process that we've developed today should address this issue, because it's asking each solar installer to submit the correct and appropriate information each and every time they're submitting an installation. So that should be prepared accurately, and that should save the municipality time. And then they also found if a municipality understands solar and wants to work with installers, there's currently no channel by which they can communicate to the installers about updates or process improvements. And this would be very helpful to have an online permitting process, which we are looking at addressing in the Rooftop Solar Challenge 2, which we're applying for a second phase to this work for an application with the Department of Energy, which Evan's going to talk to you about when we're done. So with that background, we are going to move into the legal considerations that Sherry Shapiro is going to set out for you.